Hey guys, I'm Claire Aiken, the Fiddle Leaf Fig Girl, and today I'm going to give you 10 steps to keep your Fiddle Leaf Fig green and gorgeous for beginners. I get hundreds of emails every single day of people with problems with their Fiddle Leaf Figs, and 90% of them are very, very similar. And so I'm going to go through the 10 most common problems and exactly what to do to solve them. All right, problem number one is not giving your Fiddle Leaf Fig enough drainage. These plants like to be in a very fast draining soil. In the wild, they're planted in the ground that has perfect drainage, and they do not like to sit in water. They do not like to be wet. They don't like their root ball to be wet. So giving your plant good drainage is the most important foundational step that you can do. We make a really, really cool product called Houseplant Smart Gravel that you put at the bottom of your pot that actually lifts up your root ball and acts as a ballast to keep your root ball off the bottom of the pot so that the water can really drain through and allows your plant to feel really dry and happy and make sure to avoid root rot. Tip number two is the most common problem I see besides poor drainage, which is overwatering your plants. A lot of people really kill their plants with kindness and they want to water too often. You probably don't need to water your plant any more than once every week or 2 weeks. A lot of my plants I only water once a month if they're in a darker location or if they're in a larger pot. We actually make a really cool tool to tell you exactly when to water. It is our Fiddle Leaf Fig soil meter. So what you do is you stick this in the soil, and if it reads a 3 or less, you know that it's okay to water. If it is a 3 or greater, you just wait to water until your plant dries out a little bit. They really like to dry out between watering, so you don't want to water them too often or have them be too wet. All right, step number 3 is giving them light. So these plants are native to West Africa and they grow in full sun. They love a lot of light. And so you really want to put these plants in the sunniest location of your house, especially if you want them to grow. So they need sunlight to grow and to be happy. So put it in the sunniest location that you can, whether it's a lot of windows, maybe a skylight is really cool. If you have a courtyard, under a balcony, outside, they do really well. They like a lot of sunlight. You don't have to keep them in the sunniest location forever. You can actually kind of acclimate them into a darker location over time. You'll want to put them in a sunny location for about a month and then move them into a darker location for about a month and then their final destination. And so one bonus tip to give them more light is put them next to a large mirror where your light can reflect off the mirror and give them even more abundant light supply. Step number 4 is to keep them clean. A lot of people don't realize that their large leaves really collect dust and debris, and in order to absorb enough sunlight and to actually absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen and water, they need to have their leaves really, really clean. So you don't want to have any dust or dirt on your plant. So we actually make that really cool product that is Houseplant Leaf Shine Wipes. And they are cotton wipes that are pre-soaked with a formula that not only cleans your leaves, but protects them against insects, dust, and dirt. So you just rip off a cotton wipe and you wipe down your plant to keep it really clean and shiny. And the bonus of doing this is that it makes your plant look really, really good in your home. So check out that product. It's really fun to use to keep your plant really shiny and pretty. Tip number 5 is to give them higher relative humidity. So if you live in a really dry area, or if you have your heater running all the time, you're going to want to maybe group your plants together to provide higher relative humidity, or get a humidifier to put near them to make sure that they're not getting too dry, that their leaves aren't getting too crispy. If you start to see sort of ruffling of the leaves or crispiness on the edges of the leaves, it might be that your plant is too dry and that your house is a bit too dry for your plant and it just needs a little more humidity. Okay, tip number 6 is keep an eye out for bugs. They are a little bit susceptible to spider mites and some other types of infesting bugs that can get into houseplants. So you want to check them for any physical bugs or little holes in the leaves. If you have tiny, tiny holes in the leaves, that really tells you that you may have a bug infestation like spider mites. And you want to look at the bottom of the leaves for any webbing that looks like spider webs to make sure that you don't have any insect infestations. If you do have insects on your plant, you can spray them with either neem oil, or we make a really cool product for that is called Houseplant Leaf Armor. It protects against all of the most common pests that attack houseplants. So you just spray the top and the bottom of your leaves and it will protect them for 1 to 2 months each application. Tip number 7, if your plant isn't growing like you'd like it to and you've done everything that we've discussed, you want to repot it into a bigger pot. So these plants can only grow as large as their root ball will support. So if you're in a pot that, maybe you got your plant, you haven't put it into a larger pot, it's really probably maxed out its root ball and it can't grow any bigger. Otherwise it will topple over and it doesn't have the nutrients and the ability to generate new growth. So size it up and give it some new soil and put it into a new pot that is maybe, 4 inches or so in diameter, bigger than the old pot, and that will give the root ball room to expand, to grow, to give a bigger foundation for more growth. Tip number 8, this is so common, is you have to feed these plants. They have a voracious appetite and they need a lot of nutrients to grow. They have thick stems, they have big leaves, and so they need nutrition. If you've had your plant for a year or so, it's really probably depleted all of the nutrition in the pot and the soil, and it's running on empty. So just like you eat a healthy diet and you probably take a multivitamin, you want to give your plant nutrition and vitamins consistently. So we make our Fiddle Leaf Fig plant food that includes all of the nutrition that your plant needs. It is a 3:1:2 NPK ratio. If you buy any of our products, I would recommend buying our Fiddle Leaf Fig plant food, and you feed your plant every single week in year round. So summer, winter, spring, and fall, because they grow year round. And you want to feed them every single week so that they get a consistent dose of nutrition and the nutrients that they need to grow. So this is really important to give them what they need for their immunity, but also for new growth. All right, tip number 9 is really, really important, and that is to look out for the signs of root rot. Root rot is by far the #1 killer of Fiddle Leaf Fig plants. And what root rot is, it's a pathogen that infects your root ball, and then it travels up to the leaves. It causes brown spots, dropping leaves, and it can kill your plant in a matter of days or weeks. And so it's really important to look out for the signs of root rot. So any brown spots on your leaves, any dropping leaves, a sick plant, you want to act really quickly. Make sure you have good drainage, make sure you're not overwatering, and use our root supplement product, which is designed to combat root rot. It starts acting within 24 hours. It's really powerful. It's an antibiotic, it's an antifungal, and it boosts your plant's immunity to make sure that your plant can fight off the root rot infection. And so you give it a good dose of root supplement and it should start to turn around really, really quickly. So keep an eye out, act quickly if you see the signs of root rot, because that is probably the most dangerous thing that can happen to your Fiddle Leaf Fig. And the last tip number 10, is to bond with your plant. There's mysterious ways that plants connect with us, so we connect with our plants. And so I recommend giving your plant a name, checking in with it every Friday on Fiddle Leaf Fig Friday, and really enjoying your relationship with your plant, nurturing it and getting to know it. Educate yourself, check out our resources, get educated about how to take care of a Fiddle Leaf Fig so that you can check in with your plant every Friday and learn what it needs. Does it need to be watered? Does it need more humidity? Does it need more food? Are there signs of a pest infestation or root rot? What should you do to treat your plant quickly and give it what it needs so it can stay green and gorgeous for life? Because these plants are amazing, they're beautiful, and they can live for generations. So if you learn to take care of your plant and you bond with your plant, you can keep it forever, and you could even pass it down to the next generation. If you want to learn more about how to take care of your Fiddle Leaf Fig, we have an amazing bonus pack. So you just go to the link below, put in your email address, and we will give you all of our bonuses, including the Fiddle Leaf Fig Expert book, our online video course, our free 1-hour webinar, and our quick start troubleshooting guide. So check out the link below, and we'll even include a mystery coupon to save up to 30% on any of our products. I hope this video is helpful. Please like, subscribe, ask your question about your plant if I haven't covered it below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.